and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 134. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the beast from the northeast, Gary. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Good. I'm glad.
How are you?
How is life?
Taking
Life's
up sweet
good.
number 3 spot, trying to stop me.
I love how now you're speaking on this week's video version of the podcast via bits. Appreciate it.
Hey.
If you didn't know, this is our weekly Xbox podcast, episode 134. You can find us on all podcasting places. That's a lie, but you can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play, of course. Also, you can get us the YouTube version on youtube.com/myxboxandme. I had to think about it. I want to start playing up somehow. I need to get into the rigmarole that we are episode 134, and we've never missed a week. And I feel like when I tell people that, they're more impressed than the fact that you've got an Xbox podcast. It's when you've never missed an episode that's the important part.
4-week streak.
It's crazy. We're better than The Undertaker. He lost
Hell
to
yeah.
WrestleMania. We didn't, because we've never
Screw
been there.
you, Undertaker. Fight me.
It's crazy. How you been? What's cracking in the world of Gary at the moment?
Oh, you know, this, that, the other, couple of those things. It's all good. Good.
Glad you could really
Yeah.
elaborate on all of that.
I really
appreciate
can
it.
elaborate. Like, if I said eggs, it would be a really interesting inside joke, but
Yeah, got ya. Yeah, well, life is just sort of life at the moment. I suppose that's why we talk about Xbox on this show weekly.
yes. Imagine if this was a live podcast, it lasts about 10 minutes.
Oh, God, it would be awful. Yeah, trust me. Should we get into
try
what's
that
in your
one day.
box? Should we go straight
Yes.
in there?
Are we going straight in?
Go straight into what's in your box. What you been playing this week, Gary? What's in the box?
Are we talking about State of Decay now, or?
We can talk about State of Decay now, or we can talk about State of Decay later, or we can talk about State of Decay whenever you want.
Is it topic of the show?
No.
That's what. Okay.
Topic of the show is our AC Bongos interview that I
Fantastic.
recorded last week. So if you're here for that, there'll be a time code, I guess, somewhere. Maybe I'll do that. Who knows? And if you're not, just skip along. You'll find it. I don't know. So you'll hear from AC Bongos and myself. We spoke about the state of Xbox at the moment. We spoke about the adaptivity controller. We spoke about his day-to-day job, about how it's changed since he's moved to America. I got about 45 minutes with him, which was amazing because I was thought I only to get half an hour, but he really went in depth. It's probably one of my most shy interviews, actually. I was kind of... do you know what it is? We did it over Skype as well, and Skype is horrendous for latency and lag. So, like, it was super frustrating because, like, I went to ask a question, I would talk over him a little bit as he was finishing and stuff like that. So it was really frustrating for me because I'm like, oh, that looks like I'm a bad interviewer. I'm not. It's just... It's not as quick as Discord or even YouTube or Google Hangouts or anything like that. So it's like super frustrating that it was over Skype, but I'm just happy that we could get the interview. So we'll hear from him a little bit after what's in our box. So yeah, we can jump straight into what State of Decay though. Do you want to... Have you played?
State of Decay. I've played for about two or 3 hours.
Okay.
I'm really smashing it this weekend, so
Okay.
it's kind of like just a taster. That's what I've managed to play.
What's your initial thoughts then?
It's very similar to State of Decay.
It is
first one.
extremely similar. The one thing I said, and I've been saying it on the stream, obviously I did a stream yesterday with Greg Miller. If you've not watched that, go to youtube.com/mcfixer. You can watch the whole thing, 2.5 hours. Greg was with me playing. Want to give a big shout out to anybody that listened. And I'm going to give a special shout out to my boy Snowbike Mike, because I know he's listening, who did a big donation on the stream and maybe hit my goal for the month, so I appreciate that. But yeah, me and Greg, we played for about 2.5 hours. It was really interesting and surreal for me. It was one of those things where it was... do you know what it was? It's like afterwards, it just doesn't feel like it happened, but it did happen. But
You
like
got video evidence.
yeah, but like I've had so many different encounters with Greg, and if you don't know who Greg is, it's Greg Miller from Kinda Funny, at Game Over Greggy, and I've always had positive interactions and stuff like that. We spoke about certain things and stuff like that, but to just sit and play a game with him, like, because he's not an Xbox guy, it's like I'm never, when they do like the game nights and stuff like that, it's always on PlayStation, so I never get to play, and to be able to just sit, me and him, just us two, fucking around playing State of Decay 2, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, if you've not watched it,
Awesome.
youtube.com/MCFixer. But to get back to what I was saying, to me, people kept asking, how is it? For me, it's more State of Decay. And that is a good thing and a bad thing, in my opinion. I think when we spoke about State of Decay being more State of Decay, I felt like my opinion was that's a good thing until I got it.
Right.
When I did a 6-hour stream today alone. So I'm probably about 6, 4, 9, about 10, 11 hours in, something like that. I'm having a ton of fun with the game. It is a ton of fun because it is State of Decay. The problems I do have with the game are I don't enjoy the multiplayer, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I enjoy the multiplayer from a gameplay where it's like us fucking around, and I played like today with Fishy and Irish and OK Nope, and it was a lot of fun. We're fucking about, we're doing silly things, but they do the thing where they restrict the area, so you have to stay tethered to the host, and that's super stupid and annoying.
So you can't all go off into different places.
You can, like the circle's pretty big, but it's still not what I expect from an Xbox One game. I expect that from a 360 to original Xbox game. I don't expect that from an Xbox One game. That wasn't the problem though. It weren't just the tethering what annoyed me. It's the color-coded boxes that you search. So if you play multiplayer, what happens is you will be given a certain color, which like player 1 is a certain color, player 2, etc., etc. So when you go into a building to search for things, you can only search the boxes that are your color. And what that does is you go in and you really struggle to find your boxes. And it just makes the game kind of annoying and a mess.
Right, because I've only played it single player.
Okay,
I just want to make sure I understand this. So when I go into a building in State of Decay, obviously like there's like 4 containers, let's say. So are you saying like, so is there more containers to search in the building, but you can only search a couple of them and someone else can only search a couple?
So what it is it's not like, so it's like what maybe sort of. So what it is, say we both go into a bedroom, yeah, and there's a wardrobe there, and of course there's a wardrobe there, and there's a bedside cabinet there, like left and right. For those that are not watching the video version, like usually, as a single player, I could go in and search both of those.
Oh.
So it's right. So I'd be able to go in and I could search for that and I could search that. What could happen is we could both walk into that bedroom and there would be an orange for the orange player and for the green player. So we could both walk into that bedroom and neither of us could get any of the stuff. Only the 2 other people playing with us could get that stuff. So then you have to go searching around the house trying to find the boxes, the items that are color-coded to your player, which to me is just silly. It doesn't make sense. Because I was trying to think about it today, actually, while I was playing, and I was like, why have they done this? Why have they done it? Have they done it so inventory marriage, someone doesn't just pick up everything? But you get over encumbered. I said the word wrong again. You can't carry as much stuff. I'm trying to be smart when I'm not that smart. You can't carry as much anyway. So even if you went in the house first and picked up everything, there's a house right next door that you could go into, Gary, or anybody else. I don't understand why they've done it. It just doesn't really make sense to me.
Restricted the amount of loot that people can get, but it's a loot bug, right? It's a game based on loot. Like it's like instead of you having like it's a loot based game. Like you go into these places to find loot.
Yeah, I don't think it's they've restricted. They haven't really restricted it. I think it's more a case of I think they may have expected people to all go into one house at a time. But we've all been playing PUBG long enough now that nobody goes into the same house. The only time you go into the same house is when you need help. So, and if I'm going to sprint over to you because I need help, you're going to hear me scream for that. So I don't feel like we need, here's some boxes here for you. Here's some boxes here for me. Here's some, and then when we go into a big warehouse, it's like, I could enter from the left-hand side, you could enter from the right-hand side, and all my boxes could be on the opposite side. It's just like, or just scattered around. It's just kind of annoying, if I'm honest with you.
It's really arbitrary for no reason.
I think, but that's how I feel about the whole game. Which, again, I don't want it to seem like I'm negative. I've played 11 hours and I'm going to play so much more. I'm probably going to 1000G the game like I did the first one, I think I did. I love it. It's the most realistic zombie survival game there ever is. It's the most realistic zombie sim game there is, bar none. There's not another zombie sim game out there close to State of Decay. Permadeath, building bases, going out and scavenging items, whether that be medicines or building materials or ammo, keeping people happy, people being able to coming across other human characters, which is something they've added in on this, where they are neutral, happy, or a threat against you. There's tons of stuff they've added that makes it even more a quality game. But the problem that I have with it is its bugs. Have you experienced any?
Yeah, I've a few. Nothing major. But
I've experienced
Yeah.
so many bugs, and I think it would be unfair of me to sit here and not talk about them. My problem is that this is a second-party exclusive for Xbox, and I don't. I don't agree with how it's a big one. It's a double A. It's not a triple A.
No, I don't mean in terms of the game size. I just mean in terms of they don't have many exclusive games, so this is big for them.
I think every exclusive Xbox is a big one because they have nothing. Yeah. Which is where the problems lie. And that's why I feel really let down by State of Decay 2, which is, maybe I'm wrong, I'd love to be a fly on the wall, but it feels like it was, shit, God of War's come out, shit, Detroit's coming, shit, Horizon Zero Dawn, shit, from an Xbox point of view, that we have to get this out. I'm sorry it's broken. And it's like, no. I get it, and I'm not the one comparing this to God of War. And I'm not the one comparing this to all these other brilliant, fantastic, marvellous PlayStation first-party games because I'm an Xbox gamer, and this is where I want to game. But, that being said, I expect a level of polish when it comes to a Microsoft exclusive game. And I did not, and I have not, and I am not getting this with State of Decay. And that's what frustrates me the most, is that You've given me. We are playing. You didn't give me anything. Just to be very, very clear, I didn't get a review code or anything like that. We are playing a buggy mess, in my opinion. Multiplayer at some points is unplayable. I'm fine on single player. I didn't experience many bugs. As soon as I played this multiplayer, and sorry, Gary, I'm going on a little bit.
This podcast's for.
But for me, it's just come on. This is an Xbox exclusive. This isn't undead. I kind of expected it with the first game, and that had certain bugs. And again, because it was just single player, they didn't have to worry about dedicated servers. This game doesn't have dedicated servers. No wonder why there's lag. There's lag, there's frame rate issues, there's cars flipping over, going crazy. I walked into a town and there's just buildings everywhere. It's just awful when it comes to a game, from a game. You do not expect this from an exclusive game in 2018. I'm sorry, you don't. And that's how I feel. Maybe you feel a little bit different, audience. I'd love to hear from you. But, come on. That's not what we expect. I don't know.
No, 100%. The dedicated servers thing, it's Microsoft.
Unless I'm mistaken, but I'm almost sure I read that it hasn't got dedicated servers. Which
even if it does, that makes it even worse that it's this buggy. It's Microsoft. They have all the money. I
think that's
all the money.
That's my point as well. It's I have an Xbox One X. I'm very fortunate that the community come together and bought me an Xbox One X. This thing does not run good on an Xbox One X.
Jesus.
So I can't imagine what it would have run like on my fucking VCR player or on my Xbox One S.
I guess.
But do you know what I mean? I've got an X. I'm talking I know I didn't pay for it, but I'm trying to talk from the consumer's point of view here. I paid all this goddamn money for this Xbox One X so it can run things better, and then the exclusive game that you've brought out runs I'm not going to swear as much as I usually do, because I try not to, but runs very, very poorly. What is going on? Generally, I just don't understand who thought this was okay, and why they thought this was okay to put this game out like this. Because it's a fantastic game. Like, let me not confuse you. If you've never played State of Decay before, play State of Decay 2. The UI design is so much better. It's cleaner. It all makes so much more sense now. They've added and built upon the world in a fun and interesting way. There's new guns, there's new features. It's a sequel that feels more like a 1.5 than a 2.
But it's priced appropriately as well.
It's priced appropriately, and obviously we've got Game Pass, but I'm not giving this a pass just because it's in Game Pass.
Hey.
No, I'm not doing it. I really do feel passionate about this because I feel like they've, and I say they've, but someone's done us wrong here as an Xbox audience. I really do feel that way. And I'm seeing the reviews and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to put myself in their position, the reviewer's position. Gary, you're our reviewer. And I get why it's getting 5s and mediocre and 6s. And do I think it deserves that from a gameplay point of view? No. I think the game is fantastic. I think the concept of the game is fantastic. I think everything that we love, or I love about zombie games, is in State of Decay 2. But it doesn't have the level of polish that we expect from an exclusive game. Please carry on. I'm sorry I ran a lot.
No, it's fair enough. I mean, obviously, like, I know of the bugs. I've read about them. It's hard to avoid that kind of thing. I haven't experienced too many, but then, as you've just said, I haven't played the multiplayer yet.
And that's where I've experienced a large portion of my bugs, and that makes me not want to play the multiplayer.
That sucks, because the multiplayer was like one of the big features, and
but it's what we all asked for from the first game. It's like, what do we want from this game? We want multiplayer. Perfect. They slapped multiplayer in, and it. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'm just experiencing more in multiplayer, but it's just there's problems.
Well, your experience is your experience. Like, you can only talk about your experience with the game. Like, I've had bugs for sure. Like, doors are a really funny one for me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, as much as like it's impossible to fucking close them. Like, I'll come up to a door in my home base, and it's open. It looks open, but it's not open.
Yeah.
Like, you just run into this
invisible, yeah.
And then you just open it. Like,
yeah.
What? Like, if I'm running from zombies and that fucking shit starts happening, like, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. There's that. It's doors. It's not only doors. It's, cars flipping. It's ladders. There's not a dedicated button to go down a ladder, so you walk towards the ladder. And Greg had this problem where, especially with the multiplayer, because of the lag so bad, that he was walking towards a ladder, and as he walked towards it to make it go down, he just fall over, and then your player gets injured. And then you need to go back and heal them, because that's how the game's designed. And there's interesting features with, like, the plague and stuff like that. There's so much good stuff in here. I really want to, say how good this game is. But I think I'd be doing everybody that listens to this show on a weekly base, no matter where you get it, a disservice if I didn't tell you about the problems with this game. And if I overhyped how good it is, because I do think it's that good.
It is a good game.
You would buy the game or get the game and go, well, Figs, you said this was a good game. This game is broken. And yes, at certain points, the game is broken. Like, if I play multiplayer, sometimes you can't see, like, you know where you go and get all your weapons and you store everything?
Yep.
You just can't see that.
Oh my God.
So you have to, so today, when I jumped into Fish's game, I had to go in the game, didn't see the box, left. Went in the game, didn't see it, left. Hard reset my Xbox, went in the game, left. Come back out, change character, there it was.
Bloody Jesus Christ. Okay.
For a game where if you've got too much stuff, you can't play it pretty much.
Yeah, it's like the loot is the important part.
So I couldn't drop off any loot because I had nowhere to drop off the loot.
Brilliant. Yep, absolutely brilliant.
That's a game-breaking bug for a game that's all about loot.
Yeah. 1,000% with you.
I don't bring chat into stream often, but OK Nope in chat, who played with us today, he says, "Yeah, I didn't see the box at all, so I just gave up." That's not the experience he should be having with an exclusive second-party game from Xbox.
No one should be having that issue. That's ridiculous. Like, in a game which is designed around
Loot.
Loot, you need to be able to interact with the loot. It's just basic and fundamental. You're absolutely right. This is a really good game at its core.
Yes.
100%. I love the plague hearts, and the new plague zombie mechanic, and the way people can get infected, and you've got to go out and you've got to find the tissue to make cures. Love that stuff. That I'm really getting into the loop of going out to secure buildings and scavenge and find the loot and upgrade the base and all that kind of stuff. All that really good stuff from State of Decay, as well, is really good. But if it's as broken as I'd heard, and clearly it is because you're telling me it is, then that's fucking inexcusable.
Yeah, like I say,
100%.
that bug didn't happen in single player, but only in multiplayer. But it's just not good enough.
Yeah, but if you only play that game multiplayer because you only want to play that game multiplayer, then you're fucked, really, aren't you?
Exactly. Yeah, the good stuff they've added, and I suppose we can go on this a little bit. I've already ranted enough about bad 30 minutes into the show. Sorry, people wanting the AC Bunkers interview. I apologise. But yeah, the good things are they've added certain new mechanics where obviously if you come up against plague zombies, you can get the plague, and you need to get back to your base and make a cure, or if you've got a cure on, you can use it instantly. That's a really, really cool mechanic, and it's something that gets you literally terrified when you get it, because it could be your team captain or your base captain, it could be your medic, it could be your whatever, your gardener, which why is your gardener out there? But you know how important that person is to your base. They've added that. They've added the like I said, the random encounters with more human players, which are they're very hard. Like, they shoot and they hit, and you will die, which is really cool and really fun. There's a ton that's good. There really is. Like I say, if you want to see some gameplay, go watch the stream I did with Greg on youtube.com/mcfixer, or get it in my Twitch archives, twitch.tv/mcfixer. I've got 10 hours worth of gameplay just sitting there if you want to see some gameplay. But yeah, if you're asking to me, should you buy this game? Yes. Or no, go get it on Game Pass if you haven't got Game Pass. Pay the £7 for the month and play it there. I feel like you will know very quickly if this is your type of game.
Yeah.
Simple.
Within the first couple hours, you'll figure it out. Yeah, 100%.
Anything else you want to add before we leave State of Decay, I guess?
No, I'm good. I agree with what you say. It is a good game at its core. So, if they can iron out the bugs quickly, I hope they can.
If there's a patch instantaneously, I would be so happy. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Anything else in your box this week, Gary?
Yeah, a few things. I was talking about it last week. I did the 10-hour indie game stream, so I've got a couple of games from that.
No, you said 11-hour.
Did I?
How many hours did you do?
10.
Well, disappointed. Over where? Where did you do this?
Saturday.
No, where? Where was this?
Oh, twitch.tv/wordsabougames. Oh,
man, we got to bring up your promo game.
Look, man.
We'll get there. We'll get there one day.
It's been a long day, okay?
I got you.
So I played the first episode of an episodic game called The Council, which is new out. It's really good. It's like imagine a Telltale game.
Yes.
With some RPG mechanics.
Okay.
And boss battles that are conversation based.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. So you've got stats in 3 different categories, which is manipulation, detective, and occult, because it's a supernatural based storyline.
Cool.
And that unlocks stuff like politics or science or psychology. And then when you're talking to characters, or characters are talking around you, there's a scene at a dinner table where loads of different characters are talking, these characters will say things like, say 2 characters are talking about politics, and you can get some insight into that conversation if you have the politics skill. If you don't, you won't, and you'll miss it. And the characters also have different vulnerabilities and immunities. So when you're talking to them in conversations, you can use a skill as well as just picking a dialogue option. You can use a skill say manipulation, to start manipulating them to do something, or like to do the thing that you want them to do. Say like you want them to give you something, you can use a skill if you have it.
Got ya.
Or you can just try to do it normally through normal conversation if you don't have that skill. It's
Okay.
really, really interesting the way it's all been designed together. It's kind of like the next evolution of that kind of Telltale type
Point and
narrative
click.
adventure game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one.
What's it called again?
The Council.
The Cancel. Okay.
It's definitely worth checking out. There's 2 episodes out now out of 5 so far. So it's not like all out yet, but
Okay.
super
enough.
interesting.
Fair enough. All right. What else?
The other one I want to talk about as well is Laser League.
Laser.
Yeah, so I might you might remember me talking about this, but beginning of the year.
No.
Maybe not you, but
I don't
people out
remember.
there.
I don't remember what we spoke about last week, let alone you said
Yeah.
the beginning of the
Yeah.
year.
But I was talking about Laser League at the beginning of the year. It's a 2v2 or 3v3 competitive multiplayer game. It's like a top-down thing.
Okay.
And instead of just fighting in an arena, like you don't directly attack the other players, what you do is there are these like laser towers that will spawn in the level, and you have to run over them to capture them for your team.
Okay.
So then if that laser hits an opposing player, it kills them. And like there's different power-ups and there's different character classes that do different things, but basically, some of the laser towers will move in certain directions. Basically, that's what it is. So you're all running around doing all this stuff, but you're not directly like fighting each other. You've got to essentially like capture these laser towers so that you can make the arena more hazardous for the enemy team, and then kill them that way. Again, it's another one that's really
Sounds
really
interesting.
interesting.
They both
Yeah.
sound very interesting, to be fair.
If you head over to twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames and find the 10-hour indie mega stream VOD, Laser League's at the beginning, the Council's at the end. You can check both of them out for a bit of gameplay.
Cool. Interesting.
And they're both really, really good games.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
No bugs.
No bugs, that helps. Can't help but notice how disinterested MC Fixer looks. You know what it is? I'm trying to concentrate on about 10 different things.
Yeah. He's listening.
I was really listening as well. Maybe that's my disinterest look. I really do apologize if
Fine.
that is. Anything else?
Nope, that's everything.
Yeah, I literally
no
all-
PUBG.
Yeah, all I've got on top of that is FIFA and PUBG. So, cool. Nothing else to really speak about. Well, it is topic of the show time. It is the time you've all been waiting for. Sorry, live chat, not you. Right now, we have our interview with AC Bongos. Like I say, I really do want you guys to pay attention to the end. We speak about the adaptive controller that Xbox has just putting out. It means a lot to me in my heart. We didn't go too deep into it here, but I did have a disabled cousin. I know a lot of disabled people because of that. I know how important this is, and it's definitely something that was important to AC Bongos, and he really wanted to drive home how proud he is of the Xbox team and the Xbox community about this controller, because the ones that care have been loud and clear about it. So here's the interview. I hope you enjoy it. Sorry about my nervousness. Speak to you in a bit. Hello, and welcome to My Xbox and Me, a special interview with myself, MC Fixer. I am sitting alongside Graeme Boyd. Let me say it right before we get... Everyone will come for me, so I know how it's going to go. Graeme Boyd, social media marketer at Xbox. How are you, sir?
I like how you said we're sitting alongside each other when we're like 6,000 miles apart.
To be fair, I do it with my co-host as well when he's in Newcastle. So, it's I'm alongside you, the internet, we're all together. You know how it is.
You're right. It's the global world, isn't it? That's the wonderful thing about the internet.
That's how we do it. Thank you so much again
good.
for taking the time.
No.
I appreciate it.
No problem at all. Thank you for asking. It's a pleasure. It's great to be.
I've been trying to get some more the big wigs at Xbox on this show. So
Oh my god! I could do with a big wig. That's what I need. Don't call me a big wig.
No, definitely. Come on. If you don't know who AC Bongos is and you're part of the Xbox community, what do you tell people when you start off and you introduce yourself to... When you're at a barbecue and someone asks what you do, what is it that you do in your day job? What is it? What is your job?
I tell people I work at Xbox.
Yeah.
That's always first, and then you get varied reactions to that. Like some people are like immediately really really interested, and That's great. You know, and other people are kind of like they've heard about it before, you know, and stuff, but it's I guess they're not like, you know, they're not like immediately like super excited about it. But
Yeah,
I love telling people about it. I love talking about it. Like I'm really proud to work at Xbox.
so
It's
would I be.
a thing. Yeah. But you know, I tell people I work in marketing and social media marketing especially,
Oh
and
yeah,
you know, I don't tend to tell people that like I do like you know, some on camera stuff and that. I don't
yeah,
usually like start with that, but you
got
know,
ya.
people are interested and then but yeah, more about like the social media side and marketing and working with the teams here and you know, working on announcements and projects and things like E3 and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's good.
don't leak anything. I don't want to get in trouble. All right, just don't
Oh
tell
no,
me
don't
about
worry.
everything. All right, and I want the surprises, so don't ruin any free for me. All right, come on.
You know, the funny thing about that is that like, you know, first of all, I've worked here long enough to like be pretty careful about you know, saying things I shouldn't say.
Yeah,
The other part of it is that, you know, I still love being a gamer and
yeah,
like being interested in games and um part of working at Xbox and working in the games industry in general is that a lot of the surprises get ruined for you
yeah. Of course.
because it's stuff you're working on or you know about it or you hear about it in advance. Yeah, so there's a lot of times where like people will say to me, "Oh, do you want to come and see this trailer that is you know is going out tomorrow or something?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
No.
"No, no, I just want to see it when it goes out."
That's brilliant.
Especially at this time of year, you know, when
Yeah.
E3's coming. You know, I still love those moments at E3 where it's maybe like even in our conference when it's a trailer that I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
I might know it's going to be there, but I
Of
haven't
course.
actually seen it. And
Yeah.
still that like that rush of like, holy
Oh my
crap, I
god.
haven't seen this yet. This looks amazing, you know?
Yeah.
And then I still get it with the other, you know, with the PlayStation conference and Nintendo conference and stuff, and the other their publishers. But yeah, it's nice to still have some surprises even for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like it's to be honest with you. Since I've been trying to work in the industry for about 2 years now, and I've been covering it. My Xbox and me's been going for about 2 years. We're on this is our 134th episode. Never missed a week.
That's
So
serious.
very proud. Very
That's awesome.
very
Yeah, well
proud.
done.
Yeah. It was something that when we put it together, I was like, I want to cover Xbox. My thing was, this was my whole plan was, I want to go work for Kind of Funny, which is obviously how we connected.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to that. We'll jump into that a little bit. But and I was like, what do Kind of Funny not have? They don't have a dedicated Xbox guy. Greg, love you to bits, but you're a PlayStation guy, obviously. And I was like, someone's got to go in there and be the Xbox guy. And I was like, I'm gonna be that guy. So this is how this all become, which is interesting.
Nice. You're just working your way in there.
Oh man, I
That's
love
good,
it.
though.
I love it.
I mean, Andrea like flies the flag for Xbox a wee bit on there,
Yeah.
and I know Gary kind of says that he's
Now he's got his one.
like a little bit more on the Xbox side, right?
Yeah. It's
But
weird.
yeah, no, it'd be nice to have like someone.
They've got a PlayStation guy. They need an Xbox guy. So just fly me over, guys. I'm ready. Yeah, for me, it's you to me are so important, along with Major Nelson and Mike Yerobara and everyone, because I feel like Xbox is finally getting faces where I feel like PlayStation and obviously Nintendo have always had them. I feel like you guys are really being pushed on camera. Obviously, you're doing a lot more on camera stuff now with the shows and stuff like that. Is that something that you drove for? I'm going off script a little bit here. I apologize, but is that
okay.
something that you drove for? Is that something that you wanted, or is it just something that kind of happened to come about?
You know, well, I think first of all, Major Nelson like deserves so much respect for really pioneering that whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, really, he was the first person in the whole games industry to, you know, to start a blog, to be blogging kind of like behind the scenes stuff, you know, within a big company, right?
Yeah, of course.
To be giving the gaming community like this look behind all of the marketing and the PR and the hype at what kind of really goes on. You know, and he started doing that, I guess it's probably 2003 or 2004, right? Which is crazy if you think about it. Yeah. You know, before Twitter, before Facebook, before YouTube, all of those things.
I don't even remember a time.
Yeah. So, you know, and like, I think he was, you know, he's probably the first, or certainly one of the first. I might be being ignorant there, but I think he's one of the few first people to really do that in the games industry, and probably in a lot of entertainment industries as well. You know, and he's really kind of blazed the trail for how that works, definitely within Xbox.
Yeah.
And then I think it's gone out to other publishers and console manufacturers in the games industry as well.
Definitely.
And I think that's a great thing, right? I think I think being having people within a company that have a more direct connection
Yeah.
with the audience and with the community in general is like a really positive thing. And it really shortens that distance between feedback and the company and the people within the company that can make a difference and make decisions and changes. And I think Xbox has done a really good job of that over history, of like shortening that gap.
Yeah.
And I'll be totally honest and say that we had a real blip around the launch of Xbox One, where that gap felt like it was really getting far apart again. But I think, one of the things that I'm really proud of again about Xbox is that, we saw that happen, and we made a lot of changes, and it was really difficult. I mean, that was a difficult time, but a lot of changes within the company, within the product, and within the way that we, take feedback from the community and interact with the feedback. And I look at all the things we have at Xbox now in terms of, you've got these, you've got Mike and Phil and Aaron and Larry, of course, and me to some extent. No, I don't put myself on the same level as those guys.
I'll put you there. You're there. You're
nice.
You're getting there. Trust me.
Not as many followers as them, so
Look, guys, AC Bongos. Everyone, come on, go follow AC Bongos. If you're not doing it, you're doing it wrong. Come on.
Maybe I need to change my gamertag to something that's like easier to spell.
No, no. You've been AC Bongos for so long, you can never change it. It's for me. It was. I remember when I first come across you and across your content. Obviously, I've watched a ton that you did with. Is it Xbox On? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
And I obviously that whole and then like learning the industry, being a student of the industry, and just learning names and learning what people do and stuff like that. Because I think when you first come in, you think like everyone makes games. You're like, oh, everyone's a game developer. And you're like, oh no, these people are not game devs. And that's sort of why I mentioned like yourself and obviously Major Nelson, because I feel like you said, it's someone we know that you play games. We know that you care about games. We know that you already said Nintendo, PlayStation. You care about all games. You don't want spoilers for shows that you have to be spoiled on. Like, it's part of your job. But for me, that's just it. For me, anyway, it puts me at ease, and I know that obviously there's PR and there's PR. But then when I hear you talk, I know it's truthful. I know that you're playing the games that I'm playing. I know that you care about the product, and obviously. Yeah, we did have a blip with the launch of the Xbox One, but I think the way things have changed is so amazing, in my opinion. To think where we was when Xbox One launched, let's say like I have a stake in Xbox, but I've been covering it for so long, it's sort of just where my head is.
As part of the community and as a fan of Xbox, you do, and I think that's we kind of lost sight of that a little bit. And I look at all the things, just the way that the companies run now, and the people and the faces at the company, and then things like the insider program and the constant feedback that we're not just like saying, oh, we'd like to hear from you, give us some feedback. There's teams here who are actually building whole tools and systems and putting them into the product. I've got one sitting next to me here, so I'm doing that.
Give me, quick.
And to facilitate that, so it's not just lip service. It's actually super serious about this. We're going to spend money on it, and we're going to, take it really seriously. And to your point there, like, I came into, I was always a gamer when I was young. I came into the industry, like, I never planned to work in games, basically, right? Yeah. I went to uni and did English and film studies. I did a postgrad in journalism. And then, like, I was like, oh, do I really want to work on newspapers, or do I want to, like, write about something I care about, So just blind luck, I got into being a video games journalist, and then it's just kind of, like, gone on and on and on. And here I am. And I'm always really grateful for that. And genuinely, like, I've got 2 kids now and a wife and lots of other things going on. So I wish I could play more than I actually do. Yeah. But I just love games.
I've just got the fiance part, and it's really hard to play games even there. I'm lucky, obviously.
Wait until the kids come along.
Yeah, oh gosh, let's not have that conversation. Don't let her hear you. She better not listen to this. Like, obviously, for me, I think obviously when you probably started, there wasn't things like Patreon and stuff like that. I'm fully converted through Patreon and stuff like that. So for me, I have my core audience. There's already Xbox audience fans, and then we just build and build and build, and we've just built up this amazing community, which I'll touch on to how we actually were connected. Obviously, my amazing community of my Xbox community and the kind of funny community bought me an Xbox One X, which I knew
Yeah.
nothing about. Like I knew nothing about. My fiance just got a message from a couple of people in the community who we talk to and play with every day, and then they sort of sorted something out to get an Xbox One out here, and it was just like, this is crazy. Like this is ridiculous. Obviously you saw me crying like a baby.
It was great though. I loved that. Yeah, that was really the first time I'd sort of properly seen you, and just seeing that video shared, and like it's the amazing thing about obviously your community and the kind of funny community as well is just that there's real like it is a community in the truest sense. Like it's a group of people who genuinely care about each other, and then
100%.
and that video for me was just like, I mean, obviously it helped that you were getting an Xbox rather than a PlayStation.
100%.
But that video for me was just like the perfect embodiment of what that community means, and like it was amazing. It was great to see.
It's ridiculous, like I say, but I think it's like just testament to Xbox, because it's just like we all have love for this one thing, and then I've built Mr. Moody. I'll give him a shout out, which is someone that I've met at EGX and hugged, and I know his wife, and I know his life, and I know everything about him. That all started through an Xbox. It's just crazy. It's just ridiculous. I better get through some of these questions, because otherwise fans are going to be like, you didn't answer my questions. So let's do some fan questions real quick. We got one from Ben Jack, and he said, with the release of Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out later this year, and it being the first proper Rockstar game properly developed for current gen consoles, do you think, he says, does he think, it almost messed me up, do you think that Rockstar are the kind of developer to push the boundaries of what these consoles can do?
Absolutely. I think the thing I love about Rockstar is that, they do things on their own time, right? They've kind of, I was listening to Podcast Unlocked this morning, actually, and I think Alana made the point on there that they've earned the right to do things on their schedule, right? And also, they're making a ton of money as well, so they have the money to do things.
It helps.
But I think the benefit of that is that they care so much about the craft of the games that they're making, and they put so much time and energy and resources into that it shows. Like it truly shows. I thought it was really smart what they did with Grand Theft Auto 5, like waiting. I'm not saying that they deliberately waited, but the fact that they were one of the last,
big
AAA huge games that came out at the tail end of that console generation.
Yeah.
So they could juice every ounce of power and everything that everyone had learned from working on those consoles and put all of it into that game. And then, of course, it also gave them the opportunity to like make the game even better and bring it out again on the next generation of consoles. And I just thought, from a business point of view, that's incredibly smart. From like a game development point of view, it's incredibly smart. And then, obviously just for us as gamers, it means we get this incredible honed product, which is and shamefully, I still haven't finished the campaign in that game.
Oh, come on.
It's awful, isn't it? I feel so bad about it.
It's one of my top 5 games of all time. Honestly, I love it.
And I've been playing Grand Theft Auto games literally since 1997. Like when the first one came out, I had it on my PC.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't even realize at the time that it was developed in Scotland. When I found that out a few years later, I was just like, oh my God, this is my game.
Yeah.
And I've finished them all through 4 as well. But for some reason, I've just never I stalled on 5. But anyway, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get back.
You should. It's obviously on Xbox One. The load times are way better than when it was on the 360 as well. And it's just and you play it in first person. It's just so good, so good.
But yeah, you're talking about. Sorry, I'm kind of getting off topic. Red Dead. I haven't really seen it, and I want to be respectful to Rockstar and kind of just be careful with what I say about it. But I think they're absolutely the developer and the team that can they push the console hardware in amazing new ways. I think they push game design in general in amazing new ways.
Yeah.
I love I used the word craft earlier. That's what it is. Like everything they do in their games is craft. Like 100%. The voice acting, the scripting, the environments, like every little detail has got so much like talent and craft and love poured into it.
Nothing feels rushed, like ever. I don't ever feel
Correct.
like with a Rockstar game anything feels rushed, which we know because they delay games. Which I'm always I love. If you're going to delay a game, it means it's for the better. It's not going to be not going to be a worse game by delaying it. So for me, it's I can wait. Yes, it disappoints people. I get that, but with a Rockstar game, for me, I'm like, I can wait. I'm not actually the biggest Red Dead Redemption fan, so for me, it was one of those games that I for some reason just didn't click with at first. I did complete it in the end because someone in the community challenged me, like, "Yo, you better complete this game." I was like, "All right," so I'll give it another go, and I did. And for me, but I'm still super excited for a Rockstar game on the Xbox One. For me, I can't wait, and especially on the Xbox One X. It's gonna be. Can't wait. Can't wait.
I love the first one. The first one actually, it came out just before my first son was born.
Okay.
So I remember I was on paternity leave, and I remember like playing towards the end of the game while I was on paternity leave, and then actually finishing it in the Xbox office in the UK just as I went back after paternity leave. And it's got that amazing, like probably the best end sequence to a game I've ever experienced. And in fairness, I haven't.
I'll give you it.
Game, but again, just another thing I love about Rockstar is that they build their games in the way that like good Hollywood or good TV shows build their products. Do you know what I mean? There's real narrative focus and heart to it. And like the last trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2, like I've watched that probably 30 times now. And every time it feels like a trailer for like the biggest new HBO show.
Yeah,
like
I know what you mean.
Or the biggest Netflix original show ever. You know, it's got that kind of like weight and gravitas to it.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. And then knowing that you're actually going to be playing it rather than just sitting there watching it is incredible. So yeah, I can't wait for it. And I've got nothing but respect for Rockstar. I love the way they handle all their assets and how protective they are of their IP and that they take their time and that, you know, they're Scottish, which helps.
Of course.
So yeah, great
Don't
stuff.
worry, I'm with you on the Scottish part. Shout out to Ross Miller over at the Reddit Party Chat podcast. He actually co-founded this podcast. Yeah, he co-founded this podcast with me. So shout out to Ross.
Nice.
He's doing some good work. Let's move on real quickly, and we got a question from Larry Michael who says, "How has your job changed since moving to the US?" Obviously, we reported on it when you did move because it was big news because you're a big guy out there. Any new foods you've tried? Also, please ask Major Nelson to get you back on the podcast.
Funny. Did you just say you reported on
I
the
reported
news?
when you moved. When you moved.
Did you?
Yes, of course I did. Might have been a slow news week, but definitely did it.
It must have been. That's funny. That's very kind of you. That's nice to know. It's been 8 months now. We've been out here. Funnily enough, the job hasn't changed that much because I was kind of already doing this job in the UK for about a year. And then, you know, the opportunity came up to come out here and be closer to all the people that I was working with while I was in the UK. Just obviously helps that I'm on the same time zone. I'm in the same building. I can sit in the meetings, which is all nice. So I guess from that point of view, it's changed because I feel much more connected to everything that's going on here in HQ. And, you know, I guess the challenge for me is that one of the nice things about being in the UK was that I had a slightly different perspective on things. And I was sort of like, I guess because I was outside of Xbox HQ here in the US, I was kind of, I need to make sure that I stay focused on like the UK market, the European market, and other markets around the world as well, and that I don't just focus on, I'm here in Redmond now, and that's all that matters, you know. So I'm constantly like trying to remind myself that, and hopefully doing an all right job of it. But yeah, it's been a ton of fun, and it's great to be here. It's kind of nice for me because like I see senior people in the business, you know, more often. Like you'll see Phil in the building, or you know, I'll get a chance to talk to Mike or be in the meeting room with Aaron Greenberg and Mike Nichols, who's our head of marketing. So that's exciting, and it's you know, it's fun from a professional point of view as well, because you know you can have good productive conversations with senior people. So that's been good. In terms of food, I don't know, actually. It's, I got, I did, I went through the usual thing of like coming over here and, the portion sizes are big and like there's loads of really nice like comfort food and stuff.
Yeah.
So I did put on a bit of weight, definitely over Christmas, especially.
As you do,
But
as you do.
yeah, exactly. I think everyone does.
I call it
Um,
contentment. I'll be honest. Since I've been with my fiance for 7 years, I was like, I'm content now. I'm content with life. I just got to, get a little bit bit healthier, but I'm content. I'm all good.
yeah, that's a healthy outlook on it. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I don't really know about food. There's nothing that's like. I mean,
Nothing
I
that
guess I
sticks
was
out.
coming out here. Yeah, I was coming out here quite regularly anyway. So there's nothing to. The things I do really love, like I love chicken wings, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and like they have like buffalo chicken over here, right? I really like buffalo sauce. So like
Yeah.
even last night actually, I had some like buffalo chicken sliders, which were amazing. So that was really good. And then and fried chicken, but unfortunately, I mean, I think this part of America is not really known for its fried chicken, right? We're right up in the north
Yeah.
west. Um, so like I've had a bucket from KFC, I think,
That's
but
about it.
apparently there's a really good fried chicken place here called Ezzels, I think, or Edzels. So I'm gonna need to go and try that out. But yeah, and then the last bit of that was Larry getting me on the show again.
Getting you back on the podcast, yeah.
I think yous need to ask for that. We need
Look,
to get lots of people on Twitter
should we
like,
start the Twitter campaign right now?
who's on the show again?
I think
Exactly. Get a
that's how it
petition.
all works, isn't it? It's like everyone just sort of, if something gets like, oh, I didn't realize you wanted it. I didn't realize. It's like
Exactly.
build it up and it will happen.
Totally.
So there you go. That's that. We got one from Paul Stewart. It's our last fan email. And he says, how important is the UK to the gaming industry? And can you see the UK becoming a more important part of game development and gaming growth thanks to the success of Sea of Thieves?
All right. Yeah.
Big question.
Well, first of all, it's hugely important. UK is massive. From a business point of view, UK is huge. Like, if you look at console install bases or number of games sold or any of those measures, time spent on like online gaming services like Xbox Live,
Yeah.
The UK is right up there. So, hugely important from that point of view. And I think, a game development point of view, UK's always had an incredible heritage and history in game development. So we talked about Rockstar already.
Yep.
Came up through Scotland. DMA design first, and then now Rockstar in Edinburgh, and then Rare is obviously another great example of a really storied historical UK game developer.
Yeah.
So yeah, hugely important. And I'm really delighted for Rare on Sea of Thieves. Like, I think for a few reasons. Like, I think, Rare went through a period where they were maybe working on things that they kind of, this is my opinion.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I think they were maybe working on things that they felt they had to work on rather than they wanted to work on.
Yeah.
And Sea of Thieves and even Rare Replay, where, it was a move towards Rare working on things that they really cared and loved about, and, the games that they really wanted to make. And I know Sea of Thieves has been a real passion project for them and a labor of love. And,
Yeah.
And they've had an interesting few months, I would say. But, we just on Inside Xbox yesterday, we announced the date for the Hungering Deep DLC. And then there's 6 more coming this year, or that's one of 6 coming this year. Now, expansions for Sea of Thieves. So I'm really excited to see how that game like evolves over time and how the community goes with it. And I think it's like that game is like built really well to. It's almost like I sort of think of it at the moment as this amazing foundation, right? That then gets a load of cool stuff built on top of it over time, right?
I'm very similar to you, really, where I've spoke about it on the podcast a lot and said I'm not happy with where the state is of the game right now due to the fact that I just think there's not enough content. But I was lucky enough to go to the studio when EGX was about, so I got to meet the team and I know how much hard work and passion and love there is for this game. So I know that's not it. So for me, it's a case of just stepping away until there's more in there for me to do more. But the people that love it absolutely adore it. Trust me, I get eaten alive every time I say something bad. So it's like, which is brilliant for me because I love that. I love the feedback. It's like, well, what am I missing? I always feel like if you can tell me what I'm missing in a game, because some people do, it's like, well, you can role play and you can do this. It's more about fun than the progression system, etc., etc. For me, it's like, cool. And obviously, with the new DLC coming out, hopefully that can bring me back. I feel like with these games and services, there's so much to get through, especially when you cover it for a job. It's like, you can't invest the amount of time it is to become a pirate legend, because you've got to move over to this, and this, as I'm sure you know. It's just a pain. But it's the people that love it really love it. And for Rare, like I say, got to meet a load of the team. And they're fantastic guys.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. They're amazing, and you're spot on. Like they are working so hard on that game, and they never stopped. It wasn't like, oh, they shipped it and let's all go on holiday. Like they've been absolutely non-stop, and they've got this content pipeline, which is they've got tons of stuff that they're working on. And I think it is one of those games. It's like you take from it what works for you, right? And I don't think you need to be playing it like all day, every day. I think, and what I hope is that like when Hungry and Deep comes out, there's things in there that, to your point, bring you back, right? And then when the next expansion comes out, you say, oh, right, I'm going to go back in and check that out, and you have the experience with your friends, and it's like a really social experience, isn't it? It's not
definitely
just a game. It's about like having a laugh with your pals, and if there's new things to play with down the line, to have new laughs with your pals and new adventures, then I've got high hopes for that game. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I think it's great. I'm just feel really happy for Rare. It's a great studio, and they're really genuinely nice people there as well. So,
100%. 100%. I know I haven't got you for much longer, so let me quickly slide in these quick ones.
All right.
How much do you love him working on Inside Xbox? For me, I love Inside Xbox. I love the fact that we once a month get a slice of Xbox of what's happening, and we get to see it in such a, for me, I love the production quality of it. It's not a YouTube show of what you would assume, like I do YouTube shows out of a spare bedroom. So it's not that, it's higher production, which a lot of, I know obviously kind of funny and people like that have it as well, but it's like, it's on a level where you see things that you wouldn't necessarily see. I think the first episode was fantastic for Sea of Thieves, seeing behind the scenes in the studio. Obviously, I think because I'd been there, it's more like, oh, you guys get to see it now. You get to see where the music was made. You get this, this, and this. Obviously, this week's episode was about State of Decay. How much are you enjoying working on it, and how it's, for me, I feel like it's a great way for Xbox to control the narrative on content that comes out, and not in like a PR way, but more just like we're talking about games with people of the industry. Like, are you enjoying doing it each week or each month, I should say?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. The things I really like about it is that it's regular, right? It's really the first time that we've done like a monthly regular show of that type, where we can learn, right? So every episode, we're really looking hard at it and saying, okay, what went well, what didn't, what are we hearing from the community? I kind of have, so I'm obviously on camera on Inside Xbox, right? Yeah. But probably, I would say that's probably like 10% of the work I do on Inside Xbox, because everything else is our social support around it on the Xbox channels. Yeah. And then post-show, we do a ton of like reporting and looking at all the data and all the feedback from the community about how the show went, so we can see, okay, where were people watching, where did people drop off on all of our social content, what got the biggest numbers, essentially, right? Which parts of the show really popped, right? And then getting all the insights from that, and kind of most importantly of all, looking at what the audience and the community and Xbox fans are saying, what did they like, and more importantly, what didn't they like? And putting that all into, okay, here's how we should try and change things for the next show or going forward, right? And that to me is actually, it's the more satisfying part of working on Inside Xbox, because it's, it really feels like we're trying and we're able and we're implementing change, which I think will improve that show. Because I love working on it. I think it's great we're doing it. I love the show. I think we can get better. I was going to ask you, and I'll say this to your listeners as well. Like, I would love to get honest feedback and constructive feedback.
Of course, that's my audience anyway. Yeah.
Well, I get tweets. Like, I saw a couple of tweets yesterday. It's just like, oh, that show was shit, and you're just like, well, you've obviously got an opinion, and that's great, and I
You're
want to hear.
entitled to it, but yeah.
Yeah, but tell me why it's shit.
Yeah.
Like, why do you think it's shit, and why, and how? What would you like to see, right?
How can you
Because
make it better?
yeah, we genuinely are listening, and
Yeah.
like can make a difference. Even if your opinion is, and like I say, I value negative opinions more than positive opinions because the negative opinions we can try and change. Positive opinions are awesome,
Yeah.
and they show that you're doing a good job, but you can only maintain a positive opinion, right?
Yep.
Negative opinions, you want to get into positive
I
opinions.
think the question I always ask my audience for this show and any shows that I do outside of it is, what can I improve? And the one thing I hate is when, no, it's perfect. No, it's definitely not perfect. So, like, what is it like? Because I think it's hard, especially with Twitter and stuff like that, when you've only got so many characters to put your point across, and then context is key, because obviously you don't know someone's tone. So it's like, I don't like this. It's not like it can be read like the way I go up. It's, I don't like this. It's not like that sometimes. It's, I don't like this, but I like this, and da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
For me, for the show, I love it. I would love to see more people come in and out of the show a little bit more, because like I said, I'd love to elevate more faces of Xbox.
Right.
I love, what is the mixed race gentleman? The who does the social media? What's his name? Ricari. I love him because as a mixed race man in the industry, you don't see many in the industry, and obviously I love being on camera. That's what I would love to do one day. And seeing him, I follow everything he does now because I think he's great at his job. He's a great host, and more of him all day long. Honestly,
100%. Ricari's amazing.
Get him on this show for me. I love him. Honestly, I think he's fantastic.
I'll put you in contact with him.
Please,
Definitely, Ricari's a
please,
legend.
please, yeah.
He's had a funny few months because he does all of our Xbox Live sessions.
Yeah.
So like, if you follow him on Twitter, you'll see like even in the last week he's been to like he was in LA, he was in Miami, he's off to Atlanta today. It's just like he's all over the place doing these mad things, like playing games of Usain Bolt and then playing basketball in Miami with like hip hop stars. So I'm just like, mate, do you even like? Yeah, it's like, do you know where you are right now? Because this is like he's all over.
No,
he's a good.
Got a clue.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so that's interesting. I'm interested to hear like. So you're saying you'd like to see more faces and people?
Obviously, I'd love to see Phil on there at some point. I'd love to see Aaron Greenberg get on there. Obviously, Mike. Obviously, I'd love to see more people, maybe who we don't know, in the industry, and people that are maybe some more influencers, big Xbox fans, not like fans because you don't know what they're going to say, but more like influencers, people in the industry that are working their way up. The Xbox equivalent of Greg Miller or something like that. It's just so it's like, because I know from you guys that it's a show and but like hearing someone else's opinion who maybe doesn't even work for Microsoft, it's like, oh, they're being honest. Like maybe if it's like, oh, that was cool, but do you know what I mean? Like maybe a little bit more of a conversation. It doesn't always seem so conversational. It's very telepromptery, which I love. Like I said, because I love the polish of that. But maybe a tiny segment where we could do something a little bit more off the cuff for me.
Yeah.
That's just I like going off the cuff. The hardest part of this interview was like putting down a load of I'm like, no, I just want to I've got to let's do this properly. Here's some questions. I'm not gonna throw anything crazy at you, but I just love a conversational piece for me.
Yeah.
But that's just
I think you're right. I think that's really good feedback. I was thinking yesterday, the one thing I do like about it, because it's a bit longer, and I think we need to work on the length and the rhythm of it, almost like the
pacing.
Pacing. Yeah, sometimes I think it gets a little bit long and slows down a bit. But when we're doing interviews, I like the fact that we've got a little bit more time to actually talk to the interviewee. Like I really enjoyed my interview with Sean Murray from Hello Games, No Man's Sky yesterday, because it felt like it wasn't just like, okay, when's the game coming out? Tell me the top 3 features of the game. It felt like we were able to like just dig in a little bit deeper on the experiences that they've had and how far the game's come. And I think that's a really, like, it's such an interesting game because obviously it comes with a lot of baggage. And 100%. I think, especially in the Xbox community, people have a lot of like prejudices and preconceived notions about what that game is based on what it was 2 years ago, right?
Without even playing it as well. I think even myself, I've not played the game. my PlayStation very rarely gets turned on, as everybody knows, gathering
Right.
dust. So for me,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not buying that game. It's like, but why? I don't know enough about the game. Maybe I learned a little bit more listening to you guys, obviously interview Sean Murray, but yeah, I think we all have that pre notion because of what we heard from PlayStation. It's like, oh no, let's give it a chance. Let's listen to what's got to be said. So
Yeah, a game definitely deserves a chance, you know. And I think the simplest way to say it is when that game launched 2 years ago. You know, I mean, they've worked on it for 2 years.
yeah,
There's 4 like pretty chunky expansions that they've already released,
yeah,
and then there's a 5th, which is what's going to release with the Xbox One version on July 24th, right? So I mean, essentially, it's a completely different game, right? So I would kind of like just encourage everyone to look past their sort of knee jerk, oh no, I'm not playing that,
yeah.
to just give it a chance, and that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, go out and buy it
No.
and give it a chance. It means like hold tight and look at the reviews
Do
and what people
research.
say about the Xbox One version when it lands in July, because, you know, I mean, that team is really small, and I think obviously they've had some challenges and issues, and it must have been such a difficult time for them. But I do think they deserve at this point like benefit of the doubt, and yeah, I hope it goes well for them. I really do.
Cool. I will let you go. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Where can people find you?
Can I
Let's
just-
let's get those numbers up. Yeah, go.
I just wanted to mention as well that, so you have seen this. This week we announced the Xbox Adaptive Controller.
Oh, yeah, I tweeted
And
that.
it's just, yeah, I just kind of wanted to like mention that and sort of say thanks to everyone in the Xbox community, especially for like the huge support and like the positive vibes we've had from that product. It's, you know, it's an amazing thing. Like, and I can't take any credit for it, but there's big teams here that have been working on that thing for years and years and years, and it is important to me personally though, because like I've worked with Special Effect in the UK, the charity.
I was literally going to add that on at the end.
Yeah. So they've been doing this kind of work, like making sure that people with, you know, all kinds of disabilities of any age can access video gaming. And, you know, I've always been really pleased to work with them and support them. And they were actually kind of involved in the creation of this Xbox Adaptive Controller, which, you know, just makes me feel great. So, you know, I would just to kind of like, you know, say thanks to your listeners and to the Xbox community. And like, I would love people to kind of go and look at the videos that we've put up on YouTube about that product.
Yeah.
So that they really like understand all of the like amazing sort of expertise and all of the, there's a whole bunch of charities from around the world who have really consulted and really added to what that product is. And when you kind of like really understand all of the reasons why that product's important and all of the like just amazing technical things that make it so much easier for people with disabilities, you know, to access gaming, it's really inspiring. So
I know people in this community already, people like, who are part of this community that have said they're buying one because it will help them. I know for me, I've got a disabled or I had a disabled cousin, she passed away, but I know it would have helped her. I know for me, my tweet was, this is some well done Xbox, yada yada. This is not something that's going to move units, but it's moved me as a person or something like along those lines. Because it's for me, it's a case of there's no PR spin on this. This is something to help people. This is something to bring more people in, to be more inclusive. And I'm all for that, no matter what race or disability you have. Just fantastic to bring people together. And for Xbox, the team that I love, to do this, I think is fantastic. So thank you for bringing that up, because I would have probably missed that at the end. So thank you to you and the team.
No, it's my pleasure. And you know, I'm sure you know about Special Effect, but I'd kind of encourage people to look at what they're doing, especially if you're from the UK.
Yeah.
Thing I love about them, and you know, UK-based charity, they're pretty small, but they do a ton of, you know, they do a lot more work than they should be able to because they're so small.
Yeah.
And they're such nice people. And like, you know, they're doing incredible positive work within the video games community, right? And I think often we hear about negative things within the video games community. Like, I think we should focus on and talk more about these amazing things that happen in the games community. And Special Effect for me are just one of the best groups, or you know, and groups of people that are doing that work. So yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. I'll put a link in the description below for special
That'd
effects,
be great.
100%. Let's plug and get you out of it. Let's get those numbers up. So Twitter, what you at AC Bongos, am I correct?
Mate, I'm AC Bongos everywhere.
So
yeah.
you've
So
got it. So
Twitter, Xbox Live, Instagram. I mean, I guess that's it really. That's the three that are.
That's the
but
ones
yeah,
that matter. That's the one we need the numbers up. So go and follow AC Bongos, please,
But
guys.
you know what? I'm just shy of 90,000 followers on Twitter, and so I think I need about 700 to get to 90,000. But I was saying to my wife, wouldn't it be cool if I got 90,000 around E3? So yeah, if you can give me a few more, that'd be great.
We will try our hardest, sir. I promise. I promise. All right, guys, back to your normal interview. Thank you very much. Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview. Again, like I said, sorry for my shyness. I do apologise. I'm not usually shy, but I was a little bit starstruck.
Never known you to be shy.
I know. It was. Do you know what it was? I think it was having someone of such magnitude who doesn't consider themselves any more than us. Honestly, speaking to him, it was just like, I don't even like things being told to me. Like I know you haven't had a chance to listen to it yet because it's not out. For people, we record this and edit in. So listen to it. It's interesting. It's fun. I can't wait for people to get in. I did speak to him again and say hopefully he can come back on the podcast and speak to both of us and be on a show, which I think would be amazing. So we will try and get that to happen. If you want it to happen, tweet at him. He says it in the interview. If you want something to happen, let him know. And if we all come together, it can happen. So definitely tweet at AC Bongos.
I want to talk to him, so please, everybody, if you could just tweet at him, that would be lovely.
Yes. Time for an ad. And it says, "Hi guys, my name is Mike Lynch. I stream as much as I can, but I'm a student and finals are a thing, so I don't have a set schedule. But follow me on Twitter at Mike Lynch 8645 to stay up to date with my stream."
Change your Twitter handle.
Change it, god damn it. Gary, this is your segment. Coming soon. What we got?
Oh, yeah. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games on the coming soon list this week, Mr. Fixer. The first one, I'm just going to get it out of the way. We can't do the guessing game with it, or at least I'd hope we couldn't. On May 25th, we get Dark Souls Remastered.
Never heard of it. Is that a game where there's souls that you collect that are dark?
It's been delayed.
It did get delayed.
It did get delayed. This list is wrong. We've got 4 games on the coming soon list.
Cool. I'll just pretend that didn't happen then.
Yeah, can you just edit that part out?
No, definitely not. That's too much editing.
Damn it, Fix. I don't know if the rest of this list is right now.
Well, we'll just have to assume.
So we've got 4 games. All 4 games are coming out on May 29th. So I don't need to read the release dates again. The first one's called Shift Quantum.
It's a game where you shift quantums.
Welcome to Shift Quantum, the latest version of our immersive experimentation system.
Mm-hmm.
Shift the world, twist your environment, bend your mind to unveil its secrets, and solve each brain-drilling level while experimenting your own custom levels on other subjects.
No,
so basically,
no, thank you.
It's like a platformer, and you can like twist the world around. It's black and white.
Nope. It sounded black and white. No, thank you.
Yeah, it is black and white. Yeah. The second game is called Agony.
It's a game about how you are in so much pain in your heart that you can't take it anymore, and at the end you may actually commit suicide.
Wow. That's pretty bleak.
Well, I've been watching 13 Reasons Why. That's sort of where my head's at right now.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, fair enough. Agony is a first-person survival horror set in hell. You'll begin your journey as a tormented soul within the depths of hell without any memories about your past.
Okay.
Amnesia, yay. Special ability to control people on your path and possess demons gives you the measures to survive.
Okay. I'll allow it.
And it's got a nudity tag on Steam, so that's interesting.
I'm in! That's all I needed!
The next game is called Moonlighter.
Moonlighter. It's a platformer. It's a puzzle platformer where you use the light to traverse the world.
Moonlighter is an action RPG with roguelike elements that demonstrates two sides of the coin, revealing everyday routines of Will, an adventurous shopkeeper that secretly dreams of becoming a hero.
They all, you know what? All these games are fucking roguelike or
Action
Minecraft-like
RPG,
or action
roguelike.
RPG or this is some bullshit.
And the last game is called Die for Valhalla.
I've heard of this. I don't know what it is though. You
No.
die for a person called Valhalla. It's an action RPG, roguelike RPG, indie darling with Minecraft and Roblox.
In the land of the Vikings, a monstrous portal has opened. The Great Old Ones is plotting to take over the world. Chaos spreads far and wide, and the party's just getting started. Novice Valkyries, along with their new mysterious friends, set out to save the world. What could possibly go wrong? And it's like a side-scroller action game, like Castle Crasher style.
Oh, okay. I'll allow it
And
again.
it's 4-player co-op.
I'll allow it as well. All right? I'm allowing them all today, apart from that first one. 2 black and white. I'm black and white, and I can't have anything else that's black and white in the world. Apart from
Okay.
other black and white people. Because
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
we've got to stick together.
That's fair.
Or not, I really couldn't give a crap. Moving on. Should we get into the news, Gary?
Let's get into the news fix.
Let's talk about Halo 6. 343
Yay.
Industries confirms Halo 6 is in development. Kinda. Jared has assured fans that Jared must work at 343.
Some
I
guy
assume.
called Jared.
Has assured fans that Halo 6, or whatever the new game will be called, wasn't impacted by Fireteam Raven because of the cabinet is not being manufactured by 343 Industries. He also confirmed the studio was working on their next major console game, just like the Halo books and toys. The arcade product wasn't being created inside of the next major installment of the franchise. So, if you don't know what Fireteam is, that's that new arcade game, the new Halo arcade game that some people are excited for, which I'm like, I really couldn't care. Like, cool, why not? Sure. But, yeah, so this just pretty much confirms they are working on a new Halo, which we all knew anyway. Will it be called Halo 6? We don't know, but it is happening. I pretty much put this one in there for Dan only, I'll be honest with you.
Yay. Halo. I mean, I'm excited a bit, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just...
Doesn't sound like it, though. Oh, man.
Fortnite, Gary. We have to talk about Fortnite at least once a week on this show. Fortnite Jetpacks Shotgun Limited Time Mode going to be live this week. Fortnite will put the spotlight on jetpacks and shotguns with the new Enclosed Encountered Limited Time Mode this Friday. Epic rolled out jetpacks in Fortnite's V4.2 content update earlier this week. Jetpacks are already switching up gameplay. With that added mobility they give players, close encounters will shake up things, and even more focusing on close quarter combat. You must be super hyped for more Fortnite
So
stuff.
hyped.
You can see how happy you are for it.
So hyped.
Maybe this next story will get you a little bit hyper. Sunset Overdrive. Possibly headed to PC. Now, you must be thinking, why am I putting this in here? Sunset Overdrive could be coming to a PC following its exclusive debut on the Xbox One. A listing for Sunset Overdrive PC was spotted by Twitter user Nebellion on the Korean game rating board. The reason I have put this on here, even though it's a PC, does this mean? Do I dare to say it?
Don't. Say
Does
it.
this mean
You're gonna jinx
they
it.
still care about Sunset Overdrive number
He's
one,
jinxing it.
and number
He's gonna
two,
jinx it.
that we could one day see a Sunset Overdrive 2?
Oh, he jinxed it, guys. He jinxed it. No.
What do you think?
I'd love one, but
So would I.
I doubt it. Alan Wake went to did the PC thing, got loads of sales on PC, and we don't have another one.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Sorry.
That hurts
Sorry
a
to be
little
that
bit.
guy.
That hurts a little bit.
I didn't want you to get too excited and too invested. Besides, like, if you don't, and then it happens anyway, it'll be even more surprising, and you might cry on like a live stream or something.
Sunset would not make me cry. I'd be super excited, but I wouldn't cry. Let's just make that very
Probably
clear.
not.
Okay, fine. I'll allow it.
Sorry.
It's alright.
Sorry.
It's alright. We Happy Few denied classification by Australians rating board. We Happy Few has been denied classification in Australia, although the reason behind the decision hasn't been specified. The game was refused classification this week based on Australia's National Classification Code, which states video games that depict, express, or otherwise deal with matters of sex, drugs,
Rock and roll.
or addiction, crime, violence, pretty much anything. Anything fun, prohibited in such a way, fun in video games, let me clarify, that they offend against the standards of minorities. There's a load of stuff.
Morality,
and some other bullcrap. All right? We good?
I'm just making sure you're saying that right.
Yeah, I know.
Right way.
I appreciate you.
That's what I do.
Sorry, Australia. You're not getting it. I'll be honest, I played it in preview. What I played,
Same.
you're not missing much.
Well, especially now that it's a full price $60 game.
I suppose it could turn out good.
Maybe. I mean, I haven't looked at it for like 2.5 years or something like that, so it could be. It might have improved. Probably end up playing it when it comes out, either way, so.
We shall see. Just Cause developer Avalanche Studios opens a third studio in Sweden. Nothing for that one. No pop for that one.
No.
Avalanche Studios, the developer behind Just Cause series and Mad Max. I enjoyed Mad Max, what I played.
It's okay.
Has opened a third office in Sweden. I'm not even going to try and make up names.
No.
Thank you. The studio has founded in Stockholm in 2003, has opened a second studio in New York office in 2011, and the first studio is reported to be working on a current and future IP, particularly relatively small and flexible projects which rest on solid foundation of a AAA production values and award-winning technology. Okay. Cool. I hope you're happy. The news this week's been pretty apart from one
piece. It's
piece.
nearly E3, it's like...
Exactly. There's only one piece that really has got me like very excited, but we'll get to that very soon. Ubisoft have revealed more details on Rainbow Six Siege, Operation Parma Bellum. Hope I said that correct. Parabellum. Yeah. One of the largest updates for the game so far, including 2 new Italian operators and gameplay improvements. This was announced earlier this month alongside 2 new operators, and Ubisoft have gone into more details on the Season 2 update following the Pro League Finals, which I actually watched. It's described as one of the largest content updates yet for the game, with the Parabellum Valley map promising to be the most competitive map to date. The map brings 2 new defenders, operators with it, Alibi and Mysterion?
Alibi and Maestro?
Nah, I bullshit. Nah, don't believe you.
It's true.
Alright, cool. Members of the same Italian group, della blah 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 blah, the GSI unit. I'll be honest with you. What did I say?
No, I'm using the acronym GIS.
Oh, okay. I'll let you off. Also, they're also bringing in the pick and ban system laid out. The roadmap earlier this year is part of the update, allowing players to veto operators during the selected phase, which I really enjoyed it. This is really cool. Gameplay updates include buff to the clubhouse map and echo operator, as well as deployed bulletproof cameras, new counter diffuser animation, drop shotting adjustments. Thank God the drop shotting got really bad for a while. Weapon sight, misalignment adjustments, new observation tool management, operation speed adjustments. So a ton of new stuff coming to Rainbow, and you know what that means, Gary? You're gonna hear about it all on this goddamn podcast, because I'm going back.
Yeah.
Is that all I get? Is that all I get? It's a little smirk.
I gave you a yay.
Sick
I gave you a yay.
I'm sick of it. The big news, though, about Rainbow is the one that I care about. I don't care what Lucy says in chat. Rainbow Six is about to run at 1728p on the Xbox One X, and will only run at 1440p on the PS4 Pro. Quote, we've increased the resolution to 1728p on the Xbox One X and 1440p on the PS4 Pro, while keeping 50% of the rendering scales just as it used to be. We're working to dramatically increase rendering scales whenever performance allows it. That way, we'll get an improved render quality in less complex scenes while maintaining 60 FPS at all times and dynamically regulating the rendering scales. We don't know yet when dynamic scaling will be implemented. So the Xbox One X is finally going to get an update patch for Rainbow. I see a lot of people on there doing it, so that's dope. On the subreddit, people was really asking for this, and having an Xbox One X, I'm happy for it. Whenever they're going to improve things, I'm like, cool, let's do it.
Listening to their fans and stuff.
This is the one that actually got me excited. Like, better frame rates means it's going to run better, which means I'm going to have the edge over my opponents. And you need all the edges.
You're gonna need it
when it comes to Rainbow. Exactly.
This is the one that gets me excited.
A trademark. Do you want to take it then? Feel free.
Oh shit! I didn't realize there was one in between there. Okay. I was looking at
I'll take this one. You can have the next one. A trademark for Outriders has been filed by Square Enix. The trademark spotted by Gamertag was filed on May 18th, 2018, with the European Union
Intellectual.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't sign that one out. Property Office, the EU IPO. Square Enix is yet to announce anything related to the trademark, but considering it was filed as game software and entertainment services, it is quite possible Outriders is the name of the game that will soon be announced by the publisher.
E3.
Speaking of E3, Gary.
Yeah, this is the exciting one for me. I love this from last year, so I'm going to read it. Devolver Digital will be hosting a big fancy press conference for E3 2018. The press conference will be held on June 10th at 4 a.m. UK, so on June 11th, live via Twitch. Devolver Digital promises this year's conference will feature, quote, actual game reveals, end quote, but has warned viewers to also expect, quote, blood and, quote, possibly loss of life. The publisher held its first ever E3 press conference last year, and I'm not going to read that part because we don't have a link. Yeah, I loved Devolver Digital's press conference last year.
The only one I skipped last year.
Wow. It was the best
I watched
one.
the beginning of it and it weren't feeling it, I'll be honest.
It was the best one.
Okay.
And I'm really looking forward to another one.
Another one? Sorry, I couldn't help it. Yeah, I didn't watch it. I don't know how it's going to be. We shall see. I think I'll do a reaction to it like I do all the other ones. So, cool.
Trust me.
The Division 2 will arrive before April 2019. Ubisoft revealed the time frame for the sequel in the company's 2017-2018 earnings report. The Division 2 was announced in March, although details were sparse at the time. E3 next month is set to be the game's big unveiling. So, now The Division 2, alongside The Crew 2, won't be the only big games for the company within the next 12 months. Ubisoft also mentioned an unannounced franchise title will come out before April.
Dogs. Who said that?
No way, it's too early, isn't it?
I don't know, it could be Splinter Cell. It depends
It's
what they
going
want
to be
do with
Splinter
Assassin's
Cell.
Creed.
What are we talking about?
It depends what they want to do with Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs, because the plan was they were going to leapfrog each other.
It's definitely going to be
But it's probably
Splinter
going to be Splinter Cell. Yeah.
So, thank you for reminding me about that.
Yeah, man.
NBA Playground 2 won't release on May 22nd as originally planned. Saber Interactive announced the delay on the official NBA Playground Facebook account. The developer said the sequel was pushed back because there are exciting things brewing with the NBA Playground franchise that we think will take arcade basketball to the next level. I'm guessing that means some sort of branding deal of some sort. I feel that's the only thing that would have delayed this because the game must be done. Especially with it meant to have been out yesterday. So I'm guessing it must have been something some sort of branding deal or something that they want to add in just before release to give it that extra oomph.
Yeah. I mean, it can't be a major game feature. Otherwise,
No. Or they're lying, flat out lying, and it's just bugs.
Could be. Yeah. Won't be the first time.
Yeah, we'll see. Microsoft and Rare have revealed Sea of Thieves new content. the first expansion, The Hunger and Deep, will arrive on May 29th. In the first trailer for the free content expansion, a one-eyed pirate tells of the ancient dangers in the deep that the earliest seafaring folks learned how to summon. We'll have to wait and see what exactly that means for gameplay when it launches near the end of the month. New content is coming, Gary. We sat
Did they
here.
not tell us what the new content was?
No,
Then I don't care.
but it is coming, and we have a release date for it. End of the month.
I will check it out. For sure. Because that game with content would be really good.
Would be fun.
Yeah.
We did speak about that as well in the AC Fungos. You've heard it, so there you go. You know we did. You, on the other hand, haven't. A short one, but an important one, and I'm doing this one for Ross Miller. Shout out to him. Rest in peace.
You made it look like he was dead.
He is dead. He is dead.
Is he?
Yeah,
Oh, is
yeah,
that
yeah.
how? Oh, okay. Sorry.
If you leave the podcast, you die. Joseph,
okay,
dead.
sorry, rest-
Kevin Tarney,
rest-
dead.
rest in
Ross
peace.
Miller, dead.
My bad. I didn't mean to insult your name.
How dare
Obviously.
you, sir? How dare
I'm
you?
so sorry.
But
I'm
this
so
one was for us. Salty Shores update. Rocket League hits the beach on May 29th. The next content update is all about Rocket League fun in the sun, starting with the ephemeral Salty Shores, our brand new seaside arena. As our sunniest map to date, Salty Shores should keep the summertime vibes going year round as a permanent addition to all online playlists. There you go. Happy?
That one's for you, Ross.
That one for you. Rest in peace. Pour one up.
Yeah, sure. I don't have anything to pour out.
It's cool. I got you. Should we talk a little bit about E3 real quick?
I mean, yeah, why not? It's,
Why
it's
not?
a
It's
thing,
coming.
right?
It's
You know?
coming. Microsoft's Xbox E3 2018 press conference is maybe 2 hours long. He says hoping not.
That's really long.
He says hoping not. Like, seriously?
That's longer than normal, right?
Xbox presser will kick off on June 10th at 1 p.m. PTT, which is 9 p.m. GMT, and that's all we care about. It's said to be a 2-hour-long event. Oh, God. Microsoft previous media briefing usually were around 90 minutes in length. The conference length is visible, adding the event to its own calendar. Quote, here at Xbox, we're working hard and getting ready for the big show. We'll be kicking off things with our annual Xbox E3 briefing 2018, which you can watch live on Sunday, June 10th at 9 p.m. GMT. Microsoft wrote last month during the briefing, you'll have a chance to check out everything from in-depth looks at previous announced games to trailers for unannounced titles coming in 2018 and beyond. You can watch the Xbox E3 2018 briefing live, blah, 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 blah. Gary,
Yo,
please tell me you're with me in saying 2 hours is way too
2
long.
hours is too long.
Way too long.
Unless we've been severely underestimating how much they've got to show us at E3. 2 hours is way too long. They've got to pack that show and really pack it for it to justify being 2 hours.
Yeah, I just...
And I don't think they can.
I really hope they have their shit together if this is 2 hours long. And that means we're going to get an in-depth look at Fable 4 and whatever Playground's working on and some other stuff. Coalition's new game, Halo. Like, do not want stage filler. Like, I do not need... In Phil, I'm losing trust. I do not need Phil on stage talking for a long time. I do not need anybody else. I want games. That's it. That's all I want right now. I do not have time to hear Xbox whine and say sorry about anything. I do not have time to see more about Crackdown. I do not have time to hear about Sea of Thieves. Just give me more new games, new IP, new games, something with a story, something that isn't multiplayer centric, a great single player game, please. Those are the things I want. If you're going to fill it with 2 hours of the things I want, cool. But I do not want 2 hours of filler.
Bring back Scalebound.
Did you see that popped up on the store the other day by mistake?
Yeah, no, that's why I mentioned it.
Do you think it could be?
Anything's possible.
I guess.
Anything's possible at E3.
I guess. Anything? Can I be there?
Yeah, anything's possible at E3. I just imagine you're just gonna rock out now that you've got your in with 80 people. You're just gonna rock out on stage, right?
That's what we spoke about afterwards. It was like, yo,
Yeah.
how do I get on stage at E3? Don't worry, Fix. I got you.
Yeah, of course,
So,
yeah.
Apparently not. Next up, and we're going to run through these last ones because we're going a little bit long. EA acquires Gamefly. It's mainly for their cloud basing software. The team was all based out of Israel. It's looking like EA is going to expand its business to cloud gaming. So cool. The next big one is Miramar for PUBG. Update 14 is live, so you can download the update now for Xbox One and Xbox One S and the Xbox Original, obviously. Overall performance is significantly improved, apparently. Full patch notes are inside. I could not run through them all, even if I wanted to. There is so much there. There's stuff about frame rate. Yeah, there's stuff about... I did add it here just so I could sort of try and talk about it, but there's a ton of bug fixes and stuff. So if you want to know about that, go to the official PUBG website about Xbox. And games with gold this month. We have got Super Mega Baseball from May 1st to May 31st. We have got Metal Gear Solid V from the Phantom Pain from May 16th to June 15th. You cannot get that anymore, but you can get Gary's favourite, which is Vanquish from May 16th to May 31st. So, you should do that. You should do that. Gary.
Yeah.
People can email in. Where can they email in?
What? Uh-oh, I fucked this up last time.
My Xbox and Me podcast at gmail.com. No, you need to be on the ball, son. On the ball. It's My Xbox and Me podcast at gmail.com and get their questions, comments, concerns, and all that good stuff read out loud. So let's jump into one. And it says, hello, you sexy men. I hope you are both well, kicking butt, and playing some games. My question is, what are your thoughts on the new Call of Duty?
Call of Duty!
Black Ops 4 reveal. Personally, it made me laugh when they said they were being more innovative than ever before. Your lover, Mr. Moody. So, Call of Duty! Shout out to Kevin Tarney. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
What did you think of the reveal? Did you like it? Did you watch it? Do you care?
Didn't watch it.
No, I didn't watch it
I'm not
either.
a massive Call of Duty person. Call of Duty, I'm not a massive person. But it's interesting that they're changing things up a lot.
No single player?
No single player.
Does have Battle Royale.
It's been coming for a while.
If the Battle Royale's good, I will buy this year's Call of Duty.
I mean, I'm going to play it anyway. So if the Battle Royale's good, it's good. You know, like, there's only, like, 2 major Battle Royale games, you know?
That's the thing, like, you guys were talking about on the Words About Games podcast, and Keith was saying, there's too many Battle Royale games. I was like, but there's only 2 good ones.
There's only 2 major ones.
There's
not even that many. There's only a lot announced, for sure, but there's not that many out.
Well, there's only 2 that matter. I don't care look how many RPGs there are. There's only a couple that are actually really good.
There's
like,
too many RPGs, like said, no one ever.
Yeah,
like,
no, but you know what I mean? Like, so there's only 2 good ones at the moment, and if Call of Duty can put that Call of Duty polish on a Battle Royale game, and it 100%. Is 100 people, which is being rumoured it actually is.
That would be amazingly impressive.
Yeah, I'm super interested. I feel like I won't be good at it, but I'm actually quite interested. It could be the thing that actually gets me to play Call of Duty day in, day out. Because I've never really been into Call of Duty multiplayer because I'm not that good at it. It's just a little bit too fast-paced for me. That's the only thing I do worry about with this Battle Royale. It's going to be super fast-paced.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be faster-paced than PUBG for sure.
Oh, yeah, but that's why I like PUBG, because of how slow it is and meticulous, and I get to shoot in the head and stuff like that. So
I'm a bit interested / concerned about the vehicles. In Call of Duty Battle Royale, like, there's going to be air vehicles? Really? What kind?
Of defeats the object of Battle Royale, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But then again, Fortnite's got jetpacks now, so
true.
Who
Do
knows?
they? Oh.
Yeah. Doesn't even pay attention during the show.
I wasn't paying attention.
The reveal did nothing for me. I had people come in my chat and tell me everything. I went and watched back some stuff. They didn't actually show the Battle Royale stuff that I cared about, so that was sort of it. I think it's actually hilarious how people are just letting them get away with the single player. The fact that, like, no single player, no one, there hasn't been a big fuss about it. which to me is crazy. They are taking a huge feature away from people and not really caring about it. And the fact that they didn't admit that they were working on a single player, and they're like, oh no, we were never working on one, when we know they was, because it's been confirmed they were, and it just didn't come together, is like, okay,
yeah, 100%.
crazy.
It's interesting for the next Call of Duty, though, like next year's Call of Duty, which has been in development at this point
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
So is that going to have a single player? Is that going to have battle royale?
Yeah, I think
battle royale mode. Like, what?
I think
what are they
it will
going to
have
do
a
there?
single player. I think it
Yeah,
will have a
probably
single
will.
player, and like it'll be like, oh, single player's back and
Yeah,
bigger and
that's-
better before.
That will be actually how they'll do it. They'll actually be like, single player's back, guys.
We did it. We
Yeah.
brought it back.
We're innovating. Like, use that fucking word about Call of Duty. You gotta be fucking laughing. They're innovating by making a fucking battle royale game. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, we will see. We will see. And the next one says, with Phil Spencer saying the next email, which you can email in, myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com. You should do it right now. With Phil Spencer saying he wants to support Japanese brands on the Xbox show at E3, what do you think it could mean in terms of games? Current games being brought over, like Yakuza, new entries for games like Lost Odyssey or Blue Dragon, or completely new JRPG franchises. Dragon Dogma Online is currently only available in Japan and on PC and PS4 only, and was released 4 years ago. I would love to see that brought over onto the Xbox One. Keep up the good work, guys. Dan. I think... Okay, so do you want what I think, or do you want what I want?
Oh, well, I always want what you want, but how about both? One than the other.
We'll go with, I think we're just going to see partnership deals with, like we saw with Final Fantasy 15, so we might get like a more in-depth showing of Final Fantasy 15 DLC, along with some other Japanese games that we already know about, getting some just add-ons and maybe some partnership deals there. That's what I think is going to happen. What I want to happen is we see Yakuza come over, we see Dragon's Dogma come over, we see obviously Persona come over, 4 and 5 in a compilation package. We see a ton of stuff like that. That's what I want to happen, because I feel like it makes no sense for it not to be on Xbox. There is no good reason for it not to be on Xbox.
Yeah.
The cost, the money it must cost to bring over Yakuza, for Microsoft, Yakuza and Persona, let's just start with those two. Surely they'll make that money back, just that alone, which is that way is goodwill for the Japanese market on its own.
Yeah,
It gives them an option. Right now, there's no option. It's like, it doesn't sell well because you've got none of the games they care about. How can it sell well when they can't play the games they want on your console?
You can't just release one Japanese game on your console, which isn't one of the better Japanese games on your console, and then go, oh, it didn't sell well. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Like, of course it didn't.
It's the fact of, like, let's say they did it now. Let's say they brought over Persona 5 right now. And be like, oh, it didn't sell well. You brought it over like 12 years late. Like, everybody's already bought it on their PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just, to me, it just doesn't make sense.
Those press releases that always for Japanese games that they'll always say it's coming to PS4, or maybe it's coming to PC and PS4. It needs to say it's coming to PS4 and Xbox One.
Well, it should say Xbox One and PS4. Get the marketing
whichever
on
way
it.
around. So yeah, or get the marketing on it, but it needs to come out
Day and date
at the same time on both. Day and date, yeah. And I feel like today was a really good day to wear my Persona t-shirt.
Yeah, just to me, I love some JRPG games. I'm not like the biggest fan. I'm not like, let's not put me like as I'm the JRPG guy, because I'm not. But
I am.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, why are you just giving up the market? If you're pretending to care about the market, at least don't pretend and just care.
Yeah.
That's where it comes to me. It's like, go and get those games, number one, and then when the next Yakuza and Persona release, make sure they're on the Xbox bloody 2 day and date.
Yep.
You can't win if you don't have.
No, 100%.
That's the thing that just doesn't make sense.
It's a
to me.
self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like we don't sell well. Japanese games don't sell well, or we don't sell well in Japan. It's like you're having games.
Like,
You get them like a year or two like after they've already come out on every other system, and then expect them to sell well.
But it's things like Kingdom Hearts. Why is that 2.51, the one that I need to play before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes? Why is that not on Xbox? That is the perfect game to be on Xbox with 3 coming to Xbox. Again, I get so angry about these things. I don't know why. It's just games. I know. I know. I shouldn't really get angry, should I?
A JRPG. I saw you got passionate and worked up.
Do you know why? Because I found out Mulan was in it. I fucking love Mulan.
Mulan, isn't it? Yeah.
I didn't know that. I never played the Kingdom Hearts game.
Oh.
I'm
because
just
you haven't been on
passionate.
Xbox.
I'm just passionate. Yeah, well, exactly. Exactly.
Just say yes. Just say yes.
Yes. Let's plug, and get ourselves out of here, Gary. What you got to plug this week?
Twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames, where I stream games and have a good time. I'm going to be doing one right after we've done this podcast. It's going to be fun.
What are you going to play?
Monster Prom. I've got a multiplayer thing set up with a bunch of peeps.
Fuck you then. You should play PUBG after.
I don't want. I told you last week I'm not playing PUBG for a
Yeah,
while.
but I thought I could pull you back in. I thought I could.
No, I'm done for at least a few weeks.
But Miramar's back tomorrow!
Well, then Miramar can wait.
God damn it! Why have you got other friends? I only have you!
That's not true.
That's not true.
You've got Haley as well.
Fine, I'll go watch 13 Reasons Why. Fuck you. 14 Years Why. Me, you can youtube.com/mcfixer. Me and Reese, who's now working for me on both channels, which is crazy, are working on some stuff which is fantastic. More content, regular content is going to be coming soon on the My Xbox and Me YouTube channel, which you should all go and subscribe to. Which Gary's done some great work over there. I've done some great work over there. We're all working together to try and get it better. We will figure out a schedule for content very, 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 very soon. I'm just waiting to move. I am currently in the middle of moving. Internet should be back over there on the 5th, so I shouldn't miss E3.
Oh, that's close. That's really close. Shit.
If not, I will figure it out. Don't worry, you will still be getting E3 coverage from me. Besides that, if you have Twitch Prime, you have Amazon Prime, consider giving me a subscribe. If you're not giving it to me, give it to Gary at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. But that's how we live. Subscribers and YouTube subs and donations and patreon.com/mcfixer. And we're trying to do things here. We really are. And things are only about to get harder. And being deadly serious with you guys. So we really need support now. Like I say it like every week, but I really mean it. And people I think people may think I'm joking and stuff, but
He's not.
Not I'm moving, so things are about to absolutely. I live in an annex right now. I'm moving to a flat, which that on its own means I'm paying way more council tax and all these things that I didn't know about.
You're an adult now. Fitz.
Yeah, trust me. So definitely gonna have to go and get another job again. So it'll be part-time content again, which is a shame, but we'll figure it out. But if you can stop that from happening, it is patreon.com/mcfixer. Considering throw a couple bucks that way, I'd appreciate it. Apart from that, hope you enjoyed the AC Bongos interview. If you didn't, I'm sorry. If you did, maybe hit the subscribe button on iTunes or YouTube or any of these places we're talking about. If you're new here, I've been Gary. He's been Gary. Him.
I've been fixed. What?
And I'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.